let's talk about, I don't want to give it all away, but maybe some nuggets for people and what the presentation should look like from what your company at Widget, Air or whatever we want to say that the fictional company is, how you guys are better or different from the competition. Some takeaways we can give people.
Sure. So, just starting off on that professional foot, walking them through the process, doing the survey, heat load calculation, all of that equals professional. But next steps after that is really sitting down and explaining not just the features of the equipment. We can rattle off what it does all day long. It's more about what it does for them. So with our method and what we go through and teach with our students coming through classes is, let's not focus on the brand. Let's not focus on the SEER rating. Let's not focus on the materials being used. Let's focus on what the customer wants to focus on. What's it going to do for me? How much is it going to cost to run it? How much will I save? Will I be protected? Bottom line, what am I paying? That's what they want to know. So being able to give them the information that they need without giving them too much to put them in analysis paralysis is really the name of the game.
Yeah, for sure. And then once we get to the end of that presentation, always show options, right? So what do you train? How many options should we reasonably give someone so that we don't bombard them, but we also give them some choice? So what's a good number?
3 to 4 is going to be your sweet spot. So
Yep.
you can either think of it in terms of your good, better, best, or platinum, gold, silver, bronze. We do optimum, supreme, premier, basic, whatever works terminology-wise for people. But 3 to 4 really is that good spot because we want to have a middle, because most people will tend to find themselves falling in the middle. So having 2 in the middle is great. They have a choice even in the middle, but at least have a middle. Don't just do 2 or 1. In the middle with 2 or 1.
Right. And then there's always a little nugget. Maybe I shouldn't give it away, but what the heck? We've been good. So always start with that top option, right? Maybe talk about the psychology of starting with the top option.
Absolutely. So it's so much harder to add things to a job than to take things away. For example, maybe a customer had in their mind that it was going to be $5,000. I don't know why they all think air conditioning costs $5,000, but they do. And if your bottom option is $10,000, you've already freaked them out. You can't go up from there. They're done. So you start at the top, and maybe the top for me, let's say at CertainPath Heating and Air, my top option is $25,000. I've got a full inverter system, and they're happy, but they don't like that price point, but they like what it does. Now I start taking away some of the features of what it does for them and talking about you're losing this benefit, you're losing this benefit. And the more I take away, the less they like that. But they see that the price might be going in the way that they want it, or I find that sweet spot of what fits for their budget without freaking them out from the first one and shutting them down.
Yeah, for sure. That's great. Obviously a big tool for HVAC sales, and especially because of the cost, is financing. And I know for a lot of technicians, they get the heebie-jeebies talking about trying to figure out dollars and cents, but really it's such an incredible tool. And how do you recommend talking to homeowners in terms of financing? I guess always looking for whatever tool gets you to the lowest price, monthly price, correct?
Absolutely. And introducing it early in the call as part of your option proposition, I think is nice. We're going to hear from customers a lot. Oh, I'm going to pay cash for that. But again, they could be that person that saved $5,000 because they were told it costs $5,000, and then they're halfway off the mark from even our basic package. So knowing that there's financing on the table, even if they don't want it, is a beautiful thing. And I got to tell you, it was a great closing tool for my very wealthy clientele. Not that they needed it, but the short-term, no interest, maybe 6 months or 12 months at the most. They're like, great, I have some time to move my money around. I'll borrow yours for free. And that was the closing tool. But there are so many people that cannot afford to do these kind of bigger packages. So we need to make it easy and affordable to do business with us. And if that means taking the longest, most drawn out term that you can find, 10 years, 12 years, in some places they can go as far as 20 years, whatever that means. Getting them into the most affordable payment possible is the name of the game. Because if they decide, I don't want interest, well, they can switch to a 6-month or 12-month no interest plan. Or they could pay it off very soon with no prepayment penalty. So give them something to choose from.
So it pays off to try and take some time to learn what those financing options are and be able to offer them. I know it's not fun for a lot of people, but it's a great tool. Is there anything you do to try and help create urgency to buy that day? I'm obviously don't want to be forceful, especially if you're the technician that's come there, right? And you've built a lot of goodwill throughout this call. But is there anything you can do subtly to create urgency?
Sure. I mean, the big thing for me is we're going to spend a couple of hours together going through this process. And if they're a longstanding customer or someone that's used your company in the past, if we reiterate the relationship that we've created, and bring up the fact that they don't want to go through this again and spend another 2 hours with another organization just to find that we had what they were looking for the whole time, which is the full package, not just the value that we bring with the actual equipment we offer, but the professional level of service that we offer to them. That's what they're usually looking for. So that's a way to create urgency. Like, do you actually want to go through this process again and then repeat again and then again? That's a lot of time. Plus,
Yeah.
when doing business with our company, if perhaps they've spent some money on repairs in the past, maybe we use that as a bargaining tool to be able to credit back a couple $100. No one else is going to give them that money back. So that's some urgency there. It's sitting in our bank, basically. Let us help you with your down payment. Um,
Sure.
this time of year, so right now it's the end of the year. We know that price increases are coming. We've been
Right.
told some people have already received them. Some are going to be receiving them at the beginning of the year. There's going to be more throughout the year. There always are. I work for a manufacturer. They come all year long. So letting them know today really is the least you will ever spend on this project, because
Yeah.
I can't guarantee my price will be the same 30 days from now.
Yeah. Yeah. You offer. I didn't get into the objections really yet, but you hit a lot of little talking points people can you can bring up to handle those objections. Like, oh well, I want another bid, but well, do you really want to spend all that time? I'm sure these are things that you use out of your tool belt to handle those objections. But again, I don't want to get in all of them. If you want to learn how to handle all of them, be sure to come check out Estee's class. It's definitely worth the investment of time and money.